Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to Girl Talk with Kaelin, where we discuss faith, fashion, and millennial women on the rise. I'm your host, Kaelin Ann, and today's topic is the power of influence. We have a special guest here, Mia Ray. Hey.
Hey, Boo.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, goodness. I hate talking about myself. My name is Mia Ray, born and raised here in Detroit. I am a mother of two. This is year number 9 of being an entrepreneur.
Wow.
Some like to call me a blogger. Some like to call me an influencer. I like to say I just live for a living, so.
I love that. That's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good motto to live by. So how has your experience building a company from the ground up impacted your relationships? You know, like with your friends, your family? How has anything changed?
Oh, well, my friends and my family, I'm definitely blessed in that area. They have all been so supportive since day one, especially. Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay.
This is new, like being an entrepreneur. No one in my family is an entrepreneur or anything like that. So just the other day, my uncle called me and he's like, Hollywood. He calls me Hollywood. He's like, Hollywood, I just have to tell you, I'm so proud of you.
Aww.
I love you so much and I'm so proud of you.
Aww.
You know, coming from, I had my first child at 17. So, you know, a lot of people will count you out, you know, and now everyone counts on me.
Right.
So as far,
Come on. Okay.
you know, so as far as my family and friends, they have always been so supportive. It has inspired many to do things that they've always wanted to do just by watching me. So
That's great.
yeah.
That's really good. And so I know from my perspective, I believe that you're everything. Entrepreneur, blogger, you know, Mia Ray, she does it all. And so your audience, like, truly they bang with you.
Yes.
Like they bang with you. And how do you get your audience to trust you and to just you know?
And I love them too. And sometimes I have to ask them, why do you guys love me this much?
Right.
You know, but since day one, I've always been very honest.
Okay.
I've always been very true, you know. And when it comes to them, you know, believing in me and following me and, you know, always trusting my advice, it comes from me being honest. And it's really just something that I've always stayed true to. And in the social media generation that we live in now, I just won't sell my soul. You know, a lot of people do a lot of things for money.
Right.
And I've been offered, you know, tons of money to do different things. And if it doesn't, you know, stay true to who I am and to my heart, I'm not just going to share any and everything with them just because a dollar amount is attached to it. And I think they see that and I think they know that.
Wow. That's great. That's really good.
I like to say so.
Yeah. Have you been close to people who have definitely went that way?
No, I'm not really. My circle is very small. You know, I see it.
Right.
You know, I have a very old soul, so I'm like the granny that just sit in the window watching people do stuff, you know? So I see people do that, but no one that I personally know.
And so how did you get started with your business?
Oh, God. So
The first business, I guess. I mean,
well, I like to say I just have a brand and I have different extensions from that brand, you know? So it's really all one business of Mia Ray, and then I just have different entities of things that I do. I started pre-Instagram, pre-followers and all that thing, you know, so I'm kind of like a dinosaur. And one day I had a really great friend of mine. He sat me down, and I was always the person. Who I am today is who I've always been, you know, ever since high school, you know, sharing. No, I haven't changed. Sharing everything, you know, girl, where can I find this? And, you know, I'll go out and find it, you know, let them know where to get it from. But I was sharing on Facebook, you know, just always constantly talking about where I got something from. And he's like, you should start a blog. And I'm like, what is a blog?
What is that?
Like,
I don't even know what that is.
I have no clue what a blog is. So I started this back when being a blogger wasn't the cool thing to do. It was just like my personal journal that everyone could read about hair, beauty, and fashion. So I never set out to be a blogger, you know.
It just kind of came and sat on your lap.
Yeah. So from there, I would share every day different tips, ideas, thoughts, and things like that. And it just all became a
Unravel.
snowball effect into where I am today.
You're successful, obviously, right?
Thank you.
And so do you feel like you have to go to certain events to be popping, or to have your business, be successful? Do you feel like you have to go to these empowerment conferences? And I mean, not trying to like bash, but I'm just saying, do you feel like you have to do these things that everyone is saying to do
I get it.
to be successful?
I get it.
Okay.
I understand. Those weren't a thing. They weren't a thing back when I was, getting started. I think it's great to come together and get dressed up and look cute and actually, attend these events and put a name to the face or put a face to the name and, come out and hear people's stories and hear the tips that, they have to share. But do they make you relevant? You have to make yourself relevant, So you can attend a million events, but when you go home, what are you doing?
Right.
So when you go home, are you actually putting those tools and tips that you learned, or are you actually, reaching out to the woman that you met and say, hey, let's link up, let's team up, sometimes it's really just good to get around like minds, like-minded people.
Right.
So I don't think that these events make you relevant. I think that's something that you have to do on your own.
Okay.
You have to do the work no matter what.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. So you don't have to go to these events.
Go to the events. I'm not saying don't go. Please, Mia Ray said don't go to no network events. No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
But the question was, do they make you relevant, or do they make you, and you make yourself relevant, but it's still good to, network.
Not you, your business. How about that?
You still have to make your business relevant yourself,
Okay. Okay.
So it's great, like I said, to put a face to the name and to, get out there. And I'm an introvert, so I would be lying to you if I said go to every event and yes, that's what's going to make you popular.
Because that's not what you did.
That's not what I did.
Right.
I like to call myself the most unpopular popular person. So I don't attend tons of events, but, I do it my way.
Right. Okay. And so how have you broken down barriers with letting your audience get to know your true self? So you said you've been yourself the entire time.
I like to think so.
And some people have it's hard for people to let people see you looking.
That's because people care about what people think about them, and I don't.
Okay. So, how did you get to that point?
Well, I've pretty much been like that since I was young.
Okay.
I learned at an early age, everybody is not going to like you.
Right.
And you will be okay.
Right.
And I tell my children that every day. Every time someone hurts their feelings or breaks their heart, everyone is not going to like you, and you will be okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to what barriers I've broken, it's just I feel like my purpose in life is to help women feel comfortable about themselves, no matter what their circumstances or situations may be. I'm everybody's best friend, because some way, somehow, I can relate to whatever it is that they have going on or whatever it is that they're doing. And make them feel comfortable in their situation, that you don't have to stay this way. You can change. You can be happy. You can move on. You can save money. You can look good no matter what's going on. So, and that's just from being myself. I don't know how to be anything else. Anytime in my early age, well, when I was younger, anytime I've ever tried to be someone else, I've always failed terribly. Failed big time, So I've always been very successful at being myself.
And do you think it's easy to pick out people who oh, nope, that's not her. She's not really like that behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? I've had conversations with this person, but that's not how she is.
Yes.
And how does that how does that work when someone is some way?
I like to mind my business.
Okay.
I like to mind my business. So if that's what she chooses to do, then that's okay for her.
Well, what if it's about, again, with your business? If someone is, I got to put on this face for social media because I need to get these sales, I need to do this. You know what I'm saying?
And that's okay. That's what works for her.
Okay.
So I'm not going to come out and just say, everybody, don't
Wear makeup.
Wear makeup. I'm not gonna say that because that is what works for
that person.
Yeah, because her walk, her testimony, her story is totally different from mine. You know, none of us have the same story. So this is what works for me. So whatever her story may be, it was specifically and strategically, you know, set out that way for her to tell it that way.
Right.
You know, and I'm not, you know, the captain of
Judging
anybody's shit but mine.
Right.
So I see it often, but
let them be them.
And you know, sometimes it's business. That's business. This is what I do. This is business. Everybody can't be Mia Ray. You know, everybody can't wake up with a bonnet and hop on Instagram talking.
With no makeup on.
Everybody can't. That's not everybody's.
One day I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try that.
Do it, and everybody gonna be like, "Yes, girl, you
like,
good."
no.
That's
but
not true.
One day I want to feel comfortable enough. I would say that.
And I want you to too.
Yes, one day I want to feel comfortable enough to be able to do that. I give you all the credit for that. I really do. How have you found balance with your family? Because you do have 2 boys.
Yes.
And I know one of your sons is like an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Already,
yes.
right? So you've shaped him into being someone already. How have that worked for you?
I'm so thankful because, like I said, at having him getting pregnant at 16 and having him at 17, and now for everyone to see, you know, that as a mother, like I was very intentional, you know. Like I said, a lot of people, you know, they will count you out. Finding the balance is, I'm enjoying it more and more every day. So I have a 16 and a 5-year-old. Ooh, child.
He's so cute.
That 5-year-old. So finding the balance, I love it because when I first started my business, I started at 26. So I think the oldest was around 8 or something. And, you know, him watching me start in the attic and, you know, keep going, this is year number 9, you know, to the point where it inspired him to want to do that. And I'm like, man, like, God, I remember crying. Like, what am I doing? I graduated from Cass Tech, so this was my senior year. I had plans to go to college. Like, what?
Right.
Why me?
Yeah.
And now I look back and I'm like,
look at this.
Thanks, God.
Yes, he knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. So it's very inspiring. The balance is hard, I'm not gonna lie. You know,
because you don't have like a set schedule.
I don't have a set schedule.
You gotta go out of town.
I'm a very untraditional type of mom, you know, so it's
What does that look like? What do you mean?
So sometimes they have to work around my schedule, and then we just have to figure it all out. So I remember, but back when the youngest was, you know, 1, 2 years, he didn't have a bedtime because I did a lot of my work at night. So it would work best for me and my schedule being a stay-at-home mom for him to stay up at night with me and sleep.
During the day.
Yes, with me, you know. So a lot of things like that, you know, I let happen because that's what works for my household. You know, so I love it. It's a true balance. The little one, well, both of them are very like hands-on. They know what I do. The oldest now is embarrassed that I'm his mom. And I'm like, why won't you tell people that I'm your mom? And he's like, I want people to like me for me and not because you're my mom. And I'm like, I get it.
I feel that. That's so cute. And so, how do you think you've made your mark in the blogger industry?
I'm such a rebel because I don't really think I'm a blogger. I don't know. Like,
you don't think so?
I mean, I know I have a blog. I don't know what title to put on myself. I really don't know, you know. So I like to say I did it my way. I didn't do what I saw everyone else doing. Yeah, I'm the type of person, like, when everybody else is going left, I want to go right. And I like to stay in my lane. I think my approach to blogging was a very realistic approach, a very down-to-earth. Mia Ray is my best friend in my head, and, you know, that's what I feel my connection is the most, because I wanted to create the experience that I wish existed, and to look at a woman that didn't have on a ton of makeup and just like to,
Yeah.
wear sweats and t-shirts sometimes and still live a fabulous life.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I created.
I can vibe with that girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I created it because I didn't really have that, to
Growing
connect
up,
to,
yeah.
I looked up to Kamora Simmons and Oprah,
Right.
So to me, that's what I wanted to emulate, but just, make it my own.
I like that a lot. Do you think you use your power of influence for good?
I like to think I do.
Okay.
From the testimonies and responses that I get, I seem to be breaking a few generational curses.
Come on, that's great.
With
a lot of people.
Even if it's just saving money, the different way that we parent, the different way, like different things. I don't know. I'd like to say that I'm using it for good. I've never done or shared anything that would harm or not be helpful
to someone.
Yeah,
I feel you. How can we all take steps to support a woman's business? So I guess majority of the entrepreneurs are women, Black women, and I feel like we're not staying in business though. We're popping up with businesses a lot, but we're not staying there.
Yeah.
Why do you think, and how do you think we can support those people and make
Why
sure that
do I think that? Mostly because I think a lot of people are doing things that they see other people doing. Because I've heard it. Well, if she can do that, I can do that too.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, no.
But you're not doing it.
I've definitely said that before.
Right, I can do that. And then when it's time for you to do it, you're like, whoa, maybe I can't do this.
That's not my ministry.
Yeah, that's not for me.
That's not for
It's
me.
tons of things that I could say because I'm not lazy, because I have a crazy work ethic, because I have the influence that I could say I could do that. I don't want to do anything that is not of me, So
Yeah.
I think that's why most of them are not sticking around, because they just think that if she could do it, I could do it too, which is true. But you're not genuinely doing it because that's something that you want. I think as far as what can we do to keep them around, I'm a big supporter of, it doesn't matter how many followers someone has or, anything like that. Just do it. I genuinely like to support. There's so many businesses that I've shared that I actually pay. I don't like for people to send me things. And the reason why I don't like for people to send me products and shirts and candles and things like that is because that's not genuine. Like, I want to genuinely say, no, I love that candle. I love the way it smells, and I want to share it with my following, So I'm just all about, just do it. If you want to support someone, if it's your friends, and I know we get caught up in our friends and families, they're never going to be the first to support you. Let's just put that out there right now.
Okay.
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 So once you get that out there, write that down, put it in your back pocket.
Noted.
Because that's the truth,
Right.
So I just just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
One more question. What has been the biggest challenge and the biggest reward for you?
I would say that they go hand in hand. The biggest challenge is that I didn't know and I don't know what I'm doing. So I literally just, like I said, jumped out the window on faith, and literally I'm learning all of this on my way down. So my biggest reward is looking back at when I first jumped out the window.
Right. And see how far
and
you've come.
seeing where I am now. That was the biggest challenge. Still the biggest challenge. I
Come on,
still don't know
testimony.
what I'm
Come
doing. Every day I'm still winging it,
I feel
So, and the biggest reward is just seeing what I've accomplished.
I love it.
Thank you.
So what's next for Mia Ray?
I wish I knew. So we're going to have to ask that. What's next? I just want to keep growing. I am a firm believer in slow and steady wins the race. So I'm not in a rush to get to anywhere because I'm definitely enjoying this, and you have to understand that.
Okay.
Things don't happen overnight, So I'm definitely a fan and a firm believer of building a strong foundation.
Yeah.
Microwave and overnight success won't get you there.
Oh,
You're so cute.
that
Don't
was
cry.
so good. That's so good.
Please don't make me cry.
That is so good. Oh my gosh.
Oh, don't cry.
That's so good. Okay. Okay.
Bring it back.
Okay.
We got this.
Thank you
You're welcome.
for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate you and your transparency and just your love and just you just being you. I don't really get to see that. I don't get to interact with people who show themselves as just them.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Do you want to tell people where they can follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Mia Ray, MIARAY, and yeah. So from there, you can follow me everywhere else.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to Girl Talk with Kaelin. I hope to see you next week. Take care. Bye.